Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Q&A. So this is really just an audio podcasty type thing because I haven't got the setup to do all the videos. My gaming PC that does all my editing and stuff is stuck away in a box ready to be moved on Sunday. So on my screen I have open the Q&A video that I put up to get your questions. I'm going to go through that and simply answer the questions that are there. So first up, Pro Hunter Gaming. Will you be doing a setup video of your new house, gaming PC, office, etc.? Not sure I'll do a video. I might add some photos of my new little office area with the PC setup and the desks and stuff. But all the PC and screens and desks and printer and everything is exactly the same as it is in my current house. It's just moving somewhere else. So there's not much point doing a setup video because it would be exactly the same as the previous setup video, just with a different wall in the background. Matthew Hathaway asks, is YouTube your full-time job or is it just a side job? Well, that got answered in the first one. It's just a side job because YouTube doesn't make enough money unless you're a massive YouTube star to actually live on. Josh Clust asks, are you actually like half blind? Well, I'm not actually like half blind, but I am partially sighted, which is the technical term for it, or registered blind. Basically, my eyesight is pretty crap, and that's about it really. John Smith asks, what weapon from any past Battlefield franchises would you want back in Battlefield 4 or the upcoming Battlefield Hardline? Well, I guess favourites would be this good old-fashioned AK-47 or the MG4. Used to like using the MG4. But I guess the gun I'd like back most is from Battlefield 3, and it's the AS Val, because the Battlefield 4 version of the AS Val just doesn't compare to the Battlefield 3 version. He also asks, how do you feel having reached 5,000 subs and closing in on 6,000? Well, it's quite a surprise. It was, a bit of an experiment, this channel, and the fact that people like it, well, it means I'll keep on doing it. Yummy Gaming asks, would you be interested in playing with subs in a sort of squad up fashion in BF4? Use squad VoIP or TeamSpeak and play objective tactically, like most players don't do. The problem with this is it would rely on me being good at playing Battlefield 4 and being good at playing the objective. I'm not. Now, I can play well enough to do the videos to show you how to unlock weapons. I can play well enough to play with my friends, but I'm really not a good Battlefield 4 player. I have a KD of around 1.2, I think it is at the moment. So maybe one day, maybe if it gets like 10,000 subs, I'll rent a server for a month and just play on that. But I don't know. Antonin Girasek asks, your favourite gadget? I'm going to be boring and say the med pack, just because it's the best all-round gadget in the game. Bedan CZ says, what battlefields you like the most? Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3 plus all DLCs, Battlefield Bad Company 2. I guess Battlefield Bad Company 2 is probably the best Battlefield, although Battlefield 4 is probably the one I've played the most. I've looked back over the hours I've played Battlefield 4 and Battlefield CTE, and it's a lot more than I ever played Battlefield 3, even with all the DLCs. But I think the one that got all the balance right and the gameplay right was Battlefield Bad Company 2. So Bedan asked several questions. The next one is, what is your favourite game if it is not Battlefield? I'd say it's a choice between 3, and they're all single player shooters. So the first would be the Half-Life franchise. I think Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 were pretty good. Next up would be the Fear franchise. I really liked Fear. It was a good shooter and it had a creepy storyline. And next up would be Crysis. So the original Crysis was a brilliant game. You could explore all over, there was no hand holding. They kind of ruined it in 2 and 3. But yeah, it would be Half-Life, Fear and Crysis. Not sure what order I'd put them in, but they're all single player shooters you can just have fun in. His next question is, why don't you change the background music in your Minecraft videos? It's kind of repeating over and over again and it gets boring. Well, you've got two different things to consider. One is, what music do I put in the background, because it's background music. You're not really supposed to be listening to the background music. It's mainly there to cover up microphone hiss and that kind of thing. So it's just some inoffensive music that I stick in the background. Do you use a headset? If so, what headset? I do have one, but I really don't use it that often except when I'm doing live commentaries. And if I reach over here and grab it, it is a Medusa 7.1 headset. I can't even remember why I bought this one. It was just reasonably priced. It's made by Speedlink and it does the job. Karim Dujakhanov says, could you do more gaming with chat? Right, I have tried this recently and live chat just doesn't seem to work. So doing gaming with live commentary, I can't work out what you're supposed to say half the time, and I often lose concentration and my gameplay just isn't that good. So if I do it with live commentary, there's often whole bits of stuff where I'm just either dead or running around trying to find someone. So maybe more gameplay with the commentary put on afterwards. So if we do more Q&As, I can do those over gameplay when my editing PC is back up and running. Josh Bryan says, why do you play PC instead of console? Well, the answer is quite simply, I own a very large gaming PC and I don't own a console. I've never owned a console because I've always had a PC, and the PC is better for gaming on than a console is. Just as simple as that, really. Woody Gaming says, what is your favourite colour of the alphabet? I guess it's a tree. Fabian Bruin says, what do you think of the idea of having tactical grenades as gadgets? I think that'd be really good for the assault class if you strip away their medical gear. So get rid of the med bag, get rid of the revive from the assault class and give them the fancy grenades so they get the smoke and the flares and the flashbangs. Coop Sanderson says, what is the one thing you want to do before you die? Well, the answer to that one's quite simple. The one thing I want to do before I die is live forever. Hosu Barsenas says, how many snipers does it take to change a light bulb? None, they like to lie down in the dark. Lee Jones says, do you think 9/11 was an inside job? No, I think it was a bunch of arseholes flying planes into buildings. Leonardo Pujiza says, is for you better Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4? Battlefield 3 was probably a better game than Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is getting to the point it will be better than Battlefield 3. Unfortunately, it's about a year too late. Right, so I'm cutting the questions off here because this is halfway through. I ended up rambling for 18 minutes answering the questions, so I've split it into two so it's a bit easier to upload. So thanks for watching part 2 of the Q&A, and I guess part 3 will arrive in a couple of days. Thanks for watching.